All right, so I think the stream thinking about things ready to go though. So hello everybody, Make Zardex here, back at it again to give you another very exciting video. And for today, I had none other than my ZardCast episode 29 to go through and talk about quite a bit of different topics for tonight though. I felt like a decent bit. At first I was kind of worried about how many different topics we might have to be able to go through and talk and discuss through tonight. But it seems like they've been kind of adding up a little by little, and I guess I have a fairly good chunk of stuff to kind of go through and talk about though. So yeah, so quite a bit of different, quite a bit of different stuff to go through and talk about, but it should be a very good one, and got some surprising stuff in terms of some gaming news, and then also something I've been honestly really been looking forward to with some pop culture stuff though. But speaking of pop culture, before I get into the actual real show, I just want to run through a little bit of business here, at least with my channel though, because I've been thinking relatively hard about, like, I've been enjoying doing the weekly videos for what I do for like the Friday gaming topics. That's been going pretty good. I've been scheduling those out, been recording them. I've been enjoying those. Obviously, I really do love the ZardCast podcast. This every couple of weeks now, I usually just go down and sit through and just talk whatever's been happening the past couple of weeks. I love that too. The one thing I want to talk about is my gaming streams. Now, don't get me wrong. I do enjoy streaming my games and whatnot though, but I will say, at least recently, I did the Monster Hunter Rise stream, and I thought it was fun for what it was, but it didn't feel as good as when I was streaming Famicom Detective Club, The Missing Heir, and Metroid Fusion, and what was the other one? Metroid Zero Mission. I think those three are the main ones that I think I was streaming so far. That I did a full blown stream series and actually started the game and finished the game. Those felt great. I usually try to stick with games that are about 10 hours or lower though. But at least with Monster Hunter Rise, I just felt like I was just so overwhelmed with that game. I'm like, the consistency of only playing that week to week has kind of put me off from streaming any kind of games in general. Now, also the Friday game streams when we have a launch game stream, like a big game that might come out, like for example, Pokemon Legends Arceus is a game I'm getting at launch weekend. Those will still be a thing. But in terms of those weekly Monday streams, I'm gonna tweak it just a little bit. And I'm thinking from this point moving forward though, I will still have those Monday streams, but they're going to be premieres, meaning that they're already going to be pre-recorded. So I will premiere those on Mondays, but anything that I feel like streaming on Twitch will be live on Twitch if you want to see it live happening. And whichever one I so happen to choose along the way, I will actually put that as a premiere for Monday nights on the YouTube channel side. So that way, some things are being saved from Twitch and being moved over to Twitter though. But yeah, so that's it. I feel like that's the way I'm going to kind of approach live streams for what would be normally weekly streams on the YouTube side. Twitch doesn't change anything, but it's like whichever ones I feel like streaming on Twitch throughout the week, I'll just go through, clean it up and stuff, and then drop it on my YouTube channel on the Mondays though. But that's how I'm going to basically do it. And I think that's just about it in terms of my housekeeping and stuff though. But that did allow my guests to be able to be able to actually show up in the chat though. Looks like I got Sanikyu over here. How's it going, man?
Hello.
And for the first time, now Sanikyu, he's a ZardCast Crew member. You've seen him in a lot of episodes though. But I do have a special guest showcasing for the first time on this episode. My good friend Bronto. How's it going, man?
It's going pretty good. I think you're hyping me up too much.
Hyping you up too much, bro. Kirby came out this week. I had to go and pull you. I had to go and pull you out of like a whole nother universe. I guess what the Kirby game's like multiversal thing now. I guess whatever though. I don't know. I had to pull you out of the void to be able to talk about this game whenever we get to that one part of the segment though. But I do gotta hype you up, man. I gotta hype you up. You're technically my first guest on the show.
Whoa. That's
But yeah,
I can get dragon fire in this game. Whoa. Kirby's a
Stop, that's
dragon
spoilers.
now. Oh, he was never gonna get it. It's okay.
what you talking about?
No!
We'll talk about that when we get to it though. But yeah, so that's the crew for tonight. It's probably to be just us few though, but got some good stuff planned out though. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight up into that pop culture segment.
Or you play like a song. it's like a transition, Bronto.
I like how you did that, and you know my rules, and you done messed it up, and you caused me to mess up my little thing though too. You literally pulled a what was it? Who did that last? Who did that last? Steven. Steven doesn't. I mean, oh golly, whatever. It is what it is. Bro. All right. So first up on the docket is this. This kind of caught me by surprise. How long has it been since we had last had a Shrek movie? I don't know. But then DreamWorks put a
Somebody
trailer
once
out,
told me.
and they put out a trailer for Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and I was like, I certainly wasn't expecting. I was just scrolling through my Twitter account, and then I just saw that trailer. I was like, wait, what the heck? They're making another Puss in Boots? But
I was
honestly,
so
that
disappointed that it wasn't Shrek 5.
shoot, we're never getting Shrek 5, man. Are you kidding me?
Can't see that. It's definitely happening.
Didn't they? I thought I remembered them doing like a little what was it? I thought I remember doing like an interview or something like that. Like I thought I heard works of maybe a Shrek 5 happening, and it was supposed to be like some far off. It was like years ago, but if I remember right, I thought they would have said 2023 or 2024. I don't know. But at this point, I don't expect to get another Shrek movie at this point though. But this Puss in Boots trailer though, it did catch me by surprise. It actually looks kind of clean. And honestly, it's not nothing I don't think I'm gonna watch in the theaters though, but for sure when it gets out on digital or DVD, for sure I'll watch it then though. But it looks fairly nice in that animation style. It just looks really good. I don't know. Puss in Boots is like one of my favorite Shrek characters too, so I can never go wrong with that boy.
I always like Donkey.
Uh, hold on, why hadn't they made a donkey related? Oh my gosh, that's mixed potential.
What would they even do?
They
He's not
show
really
him.
that strong
They
of a
show
character
him.
himself.
They show him in his family life with the dragon and the little donkey dragon creature
Didn't they?
thingies.
Didn't they do like something like that, but with Shrek?
Feel like they may
Maybe.
have. I just can't. Oh, I think it was like one of them special shorts or something like that. Like like they had like the Christmas short, and then I thought there was like a mini few episodes or something like that though. But it'd be cool seeing the Donkey series. Now that I'm thinking, I don't know why they hadn't done that. Interesting. But yeah, so I think that was pretty much it on that. I just want to throw out my like initial thoughts on it. It will be something I will watch whenever it comes. I think it comes out later this year. I think around fall, if I remember, summer or early fall. I have to actually look the date back up though, but it is supposed to be dropping out this year though. So one of the few movies I actually be sort of kind of looking forward to this year though. But that's one of the pop culture topics though. But the other one, I've been kind of waiting to see this for quite some time because we did get the first trailer for what will be the next Disney Plus series that will come after. Well, technically, we got one coming out on Wednesday, but this ain't it. We got to see the first trailer for Miss Marvel. Now, if you know anything about the comics and stuff like that, you know Marvel sounds it's a familiar name. It's associated with Carol Danvers, aka our other
The
Captain
worst
Marvel.
character. Yeah, that's right.
And
I finally said it.
you know
Coming
what?
out with the hot takes over here.
Honestly, no, that's not necessarily a hot take because
No, like a vast majority
I
of
mean,
people do not like
no, I know,
Captain
like
Marvel.
I kind of want to rebut what he says, but there's a part of me that, in terms of ranking all the superheroes, she technically is my lowest on my totem pole. So I can't actually fully deny
Totem pole.
what's on. I
No,
get
it's like it's very hard to like a Mary Sue character that's just with that kind of attitude. And like not a lot of people care much about her. Like they actually do not like her in the comics.
Yeah. I mean, she's like a very OP character and stuff, and it's just like when you're that OP, it's kind of hard to do the character the growth and development and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of tough to deal with though. But at least with Miss Marvel, it's a little bit different. You're kind of going back to like it's interesting the way how they play this trailer off because Miss Marvel, we know her to be
My
technically she's the
God.
first Inhuman. She's the first Inhuman that's going to be represented in the MCU because usually when you look at most heroes on Earth, they're usually either a human, they're a mutant like the X-Men, or they're Inhuman. And it's weird because Inhumans technically are almost like mutants, but they're not because they don't have the X gene, and they come from. Well, I ain't gonna fully say that. They might explain about that here in this series though, so I won't give the full context of the Inhumans. Just know that she is an Inhuman though. But her powers is she's almost like Elastigirl from like like from Incredibles and stuff like that though. But basically, she can like stretch parts of her bodies out. The biggest thing is usually she enlarges her fist and usually just punches the the living daylights out of people though. But it was interesting in this trailer how we didn't get to see. Well, we kind of saw her hand get a little bit bigger though, but she kind of has like a
I
flashing
hate
aura
what they
about her
did.
hand. What are you
No,
saying?
no, it's literally just Green Lantern, but before Marvel.
Don't get me started on Green Lantern, man. I think I remember watching that movie. That movie sucked. Wait, um, it's gonna be
No,
interesting
I
because she's like I guess she's like a student, and it's gonna be like more like that student life, and almost kind of like Spider-Man in some regards, like the whole school life thing. Though it would technically be the second hero that's kind of going through that though, but it's gonna be interesting to see how she kind of balances that and how she kind of. I'm curious to see how they're gonna explain about how she kind of discovers her origin powers. But what were you about to say, Sanikyu?
No, I just don't get how hard it was to like make her hands like enlarge as like they do in the comics and like the games, but like no, they just gave her Green Lantern powers, which is like which to me just seems like a cop out.
Yeah, because I guess they're just trying to give it like a visual flair. Because I mean, obviously, I'm pretty sure they could just enlarge the fist and it would just be simple, pretty simple. I mean, you saw the stuff they did with the Hulk and stuff like their CGI. Their CGI crew is insane. Like they can pull off a lot of good feats. If you watch any of the Doctor Strange movies and stuff, like they do some crazy trippy stuff. So it shouldn't be that hard to enlarge a fist and just kind of keep it, just kind of looking normal, whatnot though. But I don't know. That visual aura, I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to play that out, though. But this series is set to kickstart on June the 8th. So we don't have to wait too incredibly long. So basically, this is like the summer series, though. However, where we at? Sunday night right now. In literally like 3 days, Moon Knight will get started off. And I'm actually genuinely really excited about that one because that dude's fairly interesting, and I'll have some more thoughts to say on that in the next episode once we get like a couple episodes down underneath our belt though. But yeah, so between Moon Knight starting up this week and then we'll have this starting up in June. Now we're kind of getting some Marvel content, especially after they delayed. What was it? Doctor Strange, which should have originally came out in March, and it got pushed all the way back to May. So this is our first little new Marvel content stuff for the year after Spider-Man No Way Home though. But I think that's basically all my thoughts on this, unless you had anything else to say, Sanikyu, or if you got something to say, Bronto.
I got something to say.
Oh shoot, Steven just
No,
crashed the party.
I
No,
was
let's
just
just
gonna
skip him.
say. Okay then. I was just
I'm
gonna say.
I'm
it's
joking.
funny-
I'm joking.
I was just gonna say it's funny how like they kept She-Hulk pretty intact, even though she's like I was thinking that maybe they just don't want to have mutant stuff. I guess.
I don't get why they're so afraid. Like they own like
No,
Fox, so now
they own them. It's just the matter of fact of when they incorporate them with their schedule, because it seems like they laid out most of Phase 4 already. So
yeah,
there's
but
no way
like
they could just like
they
stick
already
them up in
have
there.
mutants
But
in the MCU.
yeah, they have
the
it
thing.
through Wanda. They showed it through Quicksilver, and I think that I guess people are talking about in Doctor Strange, in the Multiverse of Madness. I think one other person makes a cameo, kind of similar to how Daredevil kind of showed a cameo too. So, they're slowly trying to incorporate it. It's just when they're actually going to pull that trigger. I don't think they're going to actually do it until like Phase 5, which is I think what is it at the rate we're going? I think that'll be 2025 or something like that. But yeah, so I
Say
guess
what?
I said 2025. I think is when they might start off the Phase 5 stuff, because I think Phase 4 goes to the end of 2023. But yeah, so I think that's basically it in terms of the Marvel stuff I had to talk about within our pop culture segment stuff. So that's gonna do it for that though. So let's go ahead and jump straight over to the gaming news. All right. All right. So next up, this is kind of bittersweet. It's kind of sweet, bittersweet, kind of sad though. But as all most mobile games, they must kind of basically all come to an end though. But we got confirmation that yes, Dragaila Lost is officially going to be wrapping things up within the next few months. Because I think right now, in terms of the story of where they're at right now, they're only like a couple of chapters away. But from what I heard from their Twitter account, they're gonna be releasing like half chapters like this month, next month, leading up to like somewhere between June and July, where they're gonna officially conclude the story though. So it is kind of bittersweet. I feel like this is one of the few mobile games that almost felt like it was very close on the line of feeling like an actual game rather than a mobile game, minus the fact that you have to always what was it, you did the gotcha system. But if you took that out of the equation though, the story of what they presented in this thing was actually very intriguing. Like I was hooked on it for like a solid 2 to 3 months, almost as
I
long but not nearly as
literally,
long as Fire Emblem Heroes though. But what were you about to say, Steven?
I was just gonna say, I literally never cared about Dragalia Lost. It always just felt like the most generic thing possible. Like at the moment, even just the moment I seen those character designs for the first time, I was like, oh my god,
So
doing
what? So
this.
what you're saying is you don't like dragons because that's what hooked me.
Yeah, I guess you could call it that.
See, now that's just sad. That's just sad, man. Ignore what that man has to say, though. My
Yeah,
opinion is the
yeah,
only
that
one
man.
that
Why
matters,
am I even
though.
here?
Yeah, I know that you literally crashed the party, but at least with the girl you lost with me,
Yeah.
I didn't put any money up into the game. Because I think like what you could buy certain stuff that help accelerate your character growths and stuff like that. Get different summons and whatnot though. But I will say this was probably the most generous, and I do mean the most generous out of all gotcha games I think I ever seen or played, where they literally almost gave you tenfold summon stuff. Like they allowed you to pull pretty often. Like I never felt like I was in like a stalemate of where I really wanted to get a character and whatnot though. This game was really generous, especially on its anniversary event. So I do appreciate it for that regard. I mean, shoot, this thing even has like a miniature manga up in there. The only thing I hate is the fact that there was no anime for this thing. No, I was like, golly, I was like, oh, that's something I really wanted though.
I don't think I don't really see them making an anime for a mobile game.
I mean,
I
that's the
Well,
mean, I
thing though.
think they can make
It's
like
well,
a sequel, like a game sequel. That'd be cool.
All right, so yeah, so two things to both of what y'all said, Sanikyu and Bronto. Sanikyu first, you said not making anime. Technically, this is Side Games. Side Games also make Grand Blue, and there is Grand Blue the animation. So I was like,
Yeah,
I was
but
thinking,
there's more to Grand Blue than just that.
I know there's more to it though, but at the end of the day, it was a mobile game originally. So I don't know, just a little bit kind of out. I was crossing my fingers on, and then what Bronzo said
Yeah,
with the whole
but
sequel. Oh, go ahead.
like I'd imagine it'd get like an anime if like it got like an actual game, because some games do eventually get like an anime adaptation. Like for example, like the most recent one, it was Near Automata.
Mhm. Which I
That's
guess
all I
kind of,
gotta say.
yeah, which kind of plays into what Bronto said is like if they did a sequel, because this is weird. Like this is one of the very few. I think it's like the only. It's few or the only scenario where I think this happened though. But technically, with the whole Dragalia Lost, it's technically a Nintendo IP that was actually stuck on mobile. Like we don't have it on console. And it's weird how they actually created a whole new IP, but this was tied basically solely to mobile phones. They could, since they own the IP, bring it over as like a sequel game, like what Bronto said, and bring it to the Switch or something like that if they wanted to, and maybe
I'm
have
always,
side games actually help make it or whatever. Though, but
I'm
that
always
is
just
purely
gonna see it.
possible.
I'm always just gonna see it as a damn mobile game.
Now,
Like they tried.
now that they give that sucker an overhaul, because I'm like, they did a
It
lot of
was,
good
yeah. Well,
stuff up in that
an
game. They did some good stuff.
I don't know. I can't really think of an IP, a good IP that originated on mobile devices. Like a standing IP that has originated from a mobile game.
I don't know, but Nintendo could very well
Maybe
be the
Angry
first.
Birds, but I don't know.
Well, Angry Birds is weird. I mean, I guess that's one of the few
It
exceptions,
is a
really.
standing
Because I
IP.
mean,
It's
technically, it did that. It moved the consoles. I remember. I think you could get it on the 3DS. It had a movie
two
based on
movies.
it, and yeah, two
Got two
movies.
movies, and the second movie is like pretty good actually. So I don't know what the hell they're doing over there.
Yeah, so some good points though. So it'll be sad to see it go. I don't know when they'll officially pull the servers, like to where you can't actually play the game no more. But I am going to have to catch up on that story though, because that story was actually fairly entertaining. It had me hooked. And then eventually, like most mobile games, after I play them for so long, I kind of move on to the next or go back to my console stuff though. But I do want to see how this story wrapped up, so I'm going to probably just watch a bunch of stuff off of YouTube to kind of get caught up or whatever though.
Let's go
But yeah.
play it.
I can play it, yes, but shoot, I think they level scale all of those levels, so it literally would take me a whole week of dedicated playing it for me to catch up. Because I know one person
It sounds
that
like
plays it
It
like
sounds
that's been
it sounds
very
like
into the series, like got plushes and everything, and he said it'll basically take a week, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Wait, are you trying to like watch movies?
No, not watch movies. Basically, I would probably go to the YouTube or someone
Yeah,
has all the
that's what
chapters
I was like.
uploaded.
Well, that's what
Yeah,
I was thinking. Just watch it on YouTube.
that's
yeah.
what
To
I
There
was
me,
has to
thinking
be
too.
been someone that did that.
to me, it just sounds like you like the story, and that's like it.
No, that story is really good. That's the main thing I like about it. But the gameplay was still fun though, and some of the side mission stuff. I would never forget one of the what was it? The Halloween event one. They had like a banger OST for that stuff. That sucker had no business being that good. Like it had like heavy bass up in this. I was like, Side Games, what? I was like, Side Games, what the heck are y'all doing over there? Because oh gosh, I'll never forget that soundtrack. But a lot of those songs up in this game, ooh, really good. I got to make sure I make a playlist for some of those things because some of them are really good though. But that's basically all I have to say on Dragaila Lost. So we'll go ahead and bounce over to the next topic, which is kind of strange and kind of odd because within the past couple of weeks, apparently the Wii and DSi shop actually went down for a period of time. And it was weird because I guess people started reporting on this, and I was like, I knew you couldn't go on the shops to buy anything anymore, but I had no idea for the longest time that you could actually still re-download your stuff from the Wii or the DSi. And I was like, wait, what? And it was just weird how people were reporting on that though. And then I guess eventually we heard from some Nintendo reps saying, oh, they're basically doing maintenance, but I guess this is basically like bottom of the barrel, low tier in terms of their priorities with most stuff they're doing though. But that's basically the news cap of
So
it
wait,
though. But
so what? Did they confirm? Did it come back, or is it gonna come back, or what?
I don't think they confirmed it coming back, and I don't remember hearing news of it if it had already came back. It's just super odd. Like I just don't know. Because
Yeah, it's weird to me.
yeah, because I was trying to look it up, but I don't know. It's weird, but it kind of makes you think. Well, if the fact that they have these Wii and DSi shops up for this long, then maybe that kind of holds. Maybe if they have those shops open for that long, maybe they'll do the same with the Wii U and 3DS, as we know they're about to shut those down.
No, the reason why those ones are still open is because those systems had huge install bases.
Yeah. Well, the 3DS has a fairly big one, but we can't say the same for the Wii U.
Yeah,
But
we'll
we'll have
no,
to wait and
but
see.
those eShops are linked though. That's the thing. You can't, like, especially with the merge funds thing. It would be weird to shut down one but keep the other.
I mean, you could almost say the same thing for the 3DS and Wii U. You shut down one, you almost have to shut down
That's
the
what
other
I just
because
said.
they're almost
I just
merged as
did.
well.
I just
Oh,
said
I
that.
thought you were
I
talking about for
literally
just the DS and the
no.
Wii, the DSi
That
and
was
Wii.
the whole point. And you just
Okay.
wait, yeah, you just agreed with me in a way. Yeah, you can't
Okay.
really shut down one without shutting down the other.
So yeah, so that was basically it. It was just some little thing I just kind of want to point out. So if you happen to be one of those people that kind of shuffle through and re-download some of your DSi or Wii stuff, or technically, I
I was
guess
about
you
to
can still
say
access
the
the
Wii one
DSi
is
shop through the 3DS, I guess.
the Wii one is a big deal, honestly, though, because the Virtual Console premiered on the Wii. So if you didn't have, if you had a bunch of Virtual Console stuff that you wanted to re-download, do it now.
Yeah, you might want to do it now because I
Do it,
don't know. They
but
could pull
not
that
do it
plug at any
now, or
second.
do
You
it.
never know.
yeah, do it once it comes back up or whatever. I mean, because
Yeah. But that's basically it in terms of that. So some very quick, brief news, but I just wanted to inform y'all on that though. So we'll go ahead and bounce over to this one because shoot, we've been waiting for this sucker since 2017 because finally, we didn't get in 2017, not 18, not 20, 19, not 20, not even 21, but in the year of 2022, Nintendo
21.
Switch finally gave us folders, and they don't even call them folders; they call them groups. And I was like, you know what? They did that just to spite all of us. I know they did. I was like, But how you feeling about these groups?
I don't get why it took this long.
it took so long that I literally don't even care. It's nice and all, but like I don't know why is Nintendo make this like the sole feature of a system update? Like, come on, like really? Like that's the thing. I don't know. In my opinion, I think Nintendo fans fucking freaking out about folders is just sad. But that's just
Yeah,
me.
like that one video on Gabe Explained.
Yeah, but like no, a lot of people are doing it. A lot of people are like really happy that the Nintendo fucking gave us
They're
folders.
pogging. They're pogging. They're pogging.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
they're actually fucking pogging. They're
At least for me personally, I'm kind of glad, even though it took this long, I'm still glad that it's
You,
here
you,
nonetheless. Because
you
the
know what they
fact,
need to do?
what?
They need to give us like themes, you know?
We wait for that for how long it took? Was it 18, 19, 20,
5
21,
years,
22?
5
It
years,
took
5
5
years.
years. They're gonna give it to us in 4 years. 1 year before they 1 or 2 years
No,
before they
they're
give
gonna
us
they're
the Switch version 2 or whatever the successor to the Switch. Mark my
I'm not
words
getting.
and come back to this episode.
I don't think we're getting I don't think we're getting a second Switch
we're
He
getting a
said
second.
successor.
system.
Successor, not like a Switch Pro, like the full on
Yeah,
what
I
would be
don't
the
think.
next
I
one.
don't. I
Unless you're
don't
thinking
think
they're
we're
doing an Apple and they're gonna slowly
Nintendo doesn't
increment it.
do. Nintendo doesn't do sequel systems, and I don't think they're
The Wii
gonna.
U.
The
Yeah,
Wii,
and
the
that was
Wii
the
U,
worst. That was the worst performing.
3DS, DSi,
DS,
DS,
the
Talking about
3DS,
NES, SNES.
SNES.
NES, SNES.
NES to SN. I wouldn't call the SNES a sequel to. Okay,
It's
They just
literally
put
called
Super
Super.
Super in
in
front of the
NES.
NES, bruh.
What are you talking about, Steven?
I just feel like after the Wii U, it would be stupid just to do the same idea again because Nintendo's
No,
known
they
to like.
might call it
What are
something
you talking
different,
about?
but
Yeah,
at the
Nintendo's
end of the
known
day,
for like.
we're saying, Steven, they'll keep the hybrid concept. Because if they don't do hybrid no more, do you think they're gonna go back to having like two systems, like a 3DS and a Wii U, a home console and a handheld? I don't think they're gonna do
Well,
that. I think they're
honestly,
gonna stick with the
I was about to
hybrid.
say. Sadly, the only thing I'm gonna say is that like I love the Switch and all, but a lot of series haven't had to try on Switch. There's been a lot of series that come out with incomplete games, and then the real game comes out a couple years later that was wholly developed for Switch. Like Fire Emblem and Kirby got like half-baked Switch games that probably could have been on 3DS, and eventually we're gonna get the real one.
Hmm.
Like, and I say
Yeah, I'm
Fire
waiting for
Emblem.
that real Mario game, you know.
Mario
Wow.
Odyssey was always Mario Odyssey doesn't show any signs of being developed for the Wii U though. Like I'm pretty sure that was always going to be a Switch game and 3D World. Well, yeah, 3D World was the Wii U Mario game.
The one that wasn't good, I'll say that. But
Yes, it was.
no, it
What do
wasn't.
you mean?
No, it wasn't.
Why?
No,
Okay.
3D World was
no.
okay,
It
but
was okay at best, and literally, I keep telling y'all this. I
It's a
thought
Mario game.
I
I
thought
cannot
Mario
believe that you hate
Sunshine was gonna be my worst ever Mario game, and 3D World has disappointed me so much. It actually
I really
slept
don't
below that.
understand your hate, your incessant hate, like dislike for
it.
the
Mario
game.
Sunshine. Yeah,
No, at
I don't.
least I'm not standing alone on that hill. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Well,
But
you're not standing alone, but like you're standing with like two people.
no, it's a lot more than just two people. But at least jumping back on the
Huh.
ship of the groups, I do kind of like the fact that you can able to put and categorize, anything like you want. Like for example, at least on my Switch, I have my stuff split up between fighting games, RPGs, stuff that's like basically the Nintendo Switch Online games I have online, and then I can actually categorize which ones are my backlog games. So I can actually kind of keep track of that. because I was going through and picking all this stuff. I was like, dang. I was like, I got like 7 games in the backlog. I was like, all right, somebody's gonna get the axe, because I don't think I'm ever gonna see the light of day on these ones though. But it is kind of nice to kind of categorize that stuff, because especially at least where I'm at, where how many games I have up on my Switch, it is annoying to scroll all the way down through that thing. And I even saw you release a video on your YouTube channel, Sanikyu, how you said the quick way of popping up your groups. I was halfway with you on there, like hitting the left L and A. I didn't think about if I was in like my screenshots hitting the home button first to default you to the first icon, and then just hitting
Yeah.
left A that. So I was like, oh, okay, I didn't even think about the home button, but me and you were basically almost on the same page. But yeah, so I guess that's about it in terms of the Switch groups, unless y'all have anything else to say.
I don't know.
It's
I
a
just found it
feature
kind of
that
weird how
yeah, sorry.
that made Steven.
Oh wait, what did you say, Bronto?
Kind of weird how upset Steven got about it. Like, okay.
I don't know. I just feel I hate just seeing people get so fucking happy over a feature that we should have had for how many years now? Like, really? This is what you praise Nintendo for?
Well, it's probably
Yes.
because the fact that basically almost everybody accepted it probably wouldn't have happened, but I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah, but like literally, how hard is it? How fucking hard is it? That's the thing I don't get. It's not like
Even this is the same company that's like against emulation, but they're totally cool with them
I'm pretty
doing
sure
it
that
themselves.
yeah. Well, guess what? The Wii U.
This is the same company that took down someone posting scans of a Super Mario 64 guy because
Yeah, but like don't
it's gonna harm their company.
don't they at least understand that
No, they
people
don't.
like
They don't
personalizing
understand
They
at
their
really
all.
don't. They really don't, Steven.
I don't know. Like, but I don't get it. How the hell do they like make like they'll have like a hot streak and then they'll put together like a really good direct and then the next fucking month they're doing this and doing
It's
stupid
probably
shit.
because the decisions like that, like of this console itself, are probably made by the actual like businesses and not the game developers.
Yeah.
It's always the dude in the business suits at the end of the day. That's what it comes down to.
Do
That
you
and
think the people in the
shareholders, but
business suits
whatever.
play games? No, they do not play games.
No, they don't even
Fucking
have time
Yeah,
to play games. Let's be real.
look at Reggie. Look at Reggie when he's like, "I will kick your ass."
kick your ass.
I never forget that when he came out
Yeah,
that
but he's
one
epic.
E3.
Everybody else is it.
I mean, between him, Awada, and some of them other dudes, they all pretty cool in my books, though. But I guess that's basically gonna do it for this one, though. So we'll go ahead and bounce over to, I think, yeah. So bounce over to my last gaming topic, or gaming news thing that we have scheduled for tonight before we go into some of our other few things after that, and that being we did get a PlayStation State of Play, a dedicated one, coming right off the heels of another state of play that was their general kind of state of play, though. And at first, they announced it was going to be a solo direct, or golly, I like how I say it, keep referring to it as direct.
It's
This is not a
direct.
direct. No, a solo state of play that was only featuring Hogwarts Legacy. I remember seeing brief little things here and there, just a whisper here and there about this game and whatnot, though. And I was like, oh, okay, so this is basically a Harry Potter thing. I was just thinking it was going to be like some kind of offshoot, kind of beaten thing. I was like, it'll be kind of catered towards the niches that really like Harry Potter. Or I say niche. I mean, no, there's a dedicated fan base for this mess though. But I thought it would cater more towards them, and I thought it was just gonna be just an average game, whatever. But the more and more I watched that state of play, I was like, wait a minute. They might be on to something. I was like, I'm a fan of Harry Potter. I'm not like a diehard. Like, I didn't read the books and watch the movies. I just mainly watched the movies, though. So
I
I'm a
read the
fan of
books.
it. I'm a fan of it. I'm just saying a diehard fan, but I do appreciate the world of Harry Potter. And the stuff that they showcased off in there was really expansive. I wasn't really expecting this is basically like borderline an open world game between exploring the castle itself and even beyond the grounds and going into some of the villages and some of the outer areas of Hogwarts. I wasn't expecting that. The fact that you can kind of go and you can
Hogwarts
either
School of Witchcraft and Wizardry.
yeah,
I was just
you can craft, you can loot, or you can
You can
buy
mine.
the kind of upgrade some of these different things. There's like different, I guess there's gonna be like different kind of like skill pad trees where you can kind of if you like a certain type of magic, you can kind of expand it to that region, or you can like another one. I like one of the ones where it's like you literally lift them up with a wand and you can like smack them, beat them around on the ground or something like that. Like it's like whiplash. I was like, okay, you know what? That's probably gonna be my forte or whatever though. But they just genuinely impressed me. The more things and how detail oriented they are with this, like between your knowledge of the movies, if you read the books, or even know about the Fantastic Beasts, they're expanding upon the beast aspects as well, which is kind of very unique because they kind of dabble with it a little bit, but I kind of like how they're expanding upon that as well, though. So a lot of things, if you're actually into Harry Potter, there's a lot of details that's going up into this. But I think I rambled on long enough. I'll let one of y'all say something now.
I don't really
J.K.
care much
Rowling.
about it. Yeah, she sucks.
She's associated with this, and they've literally gone out of their way
No,
to
she's
say
not.
that. I swear that they've said that she's associated with this.
I don't.
Yeah, you really think the author has time to like look over the shoulders? Like, yeah, this is how I want it for like a game.
I mean,
She's
they
not
have so many
associated with
different
it.
source materials between the books, the movies, and well, 2 sets of movies. I think as long as they just go through that and just pick all the stuff out, they wouldn't necessarily need the author's approval on anything. I feel like they
No,
kind of know their stuff.
I was
If
about to
you,
say
if you're,
either way, it's still stuff. No, it's still stuff that like she's done. Like she made that stuff. I don't know. I feel like
We separate the artist from the art, Steven.
yeah, I mean, because that's the
it's
thing.
hard
Like
to do
you
it
can
with
literally, you
that
can literally
after the
have.
art has been the art
I'm
has literally been molded. Like the art has been changed to fit her viewpoint multiple
Her
times. Like
head
they were
canons doesn't matter.
I mean, because
her head canons. Haven't
literally,
they made
Steven,
those
you do
actual
have to
canons?
separate the artist from the art because you literally can have somebody in their heyday be really good about something, and they could pull something years down the road. I can think about a lot of different celebrities that went down that route, and it doesn't necessarily mean that the stuff that they did prior, just all of a sudden just sucks out of nowhere. I
It's
mean,
just
you got to
alright.
differentiate that. I mean, you
Well,
hate the
if I'm
player,
gonna
not
say
hate the
something,
game. Essentially, you
I
heard
was
that
gonna
saying,
say,
right?
I was gonna say as a joke, giving your stance on gay people that you defending J.K. Rowling is quite funny.
My God, Steven, are you an idiot?
Yeah, maybe.
Bruh. Oh, disregarding what he just mentioned there, you can be whatever you want to do.
No, you're not streaming this,
Don't
are
let.
you, Zard?
Well, you know how these podcasts are. You know how these podcasts are. So I don't even have to technically answer that, Sanikyu. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter
Okay.
who you are or what you are. You know, don't let anybody determine what you can and what you can't do. As long as you're not physically hurting nobody,
You can
that's the
hate.
major goal.
You can hate Harry Potter no matter which way you are.
But yeah, so without going on that weird offshoot kind of branch or whatever, though, in terms of the game itself, I am actually really looking forward to actually playing this game. It went from a game where I was kind of like, I'm kind of on the fence about this to, okay, you know what? I'm actually going to get it pretty close to launch weekend or whatever, though. Now the interesting thing about this is not even the fact that it's that we knew it was coming out on PlayStation platforms. It's coming out on PS5 and PS4, but it's multiplayer. It's going to Xbox Series X, the Xbox One, and even to the Nintendo Switch. And I was like, wait a minute, hold the phone. As big and as expensive as this game looks, this is going to be on the Switch. And I even saw listings go up for Amazon. So no, this doesn't even look like it's going to be one of those games where it's like, hey, you got part on the cartridge, you got to download it. For what it seems like now, it seems like everything's gonna be on the cartridge. I'm wondering, is WB actually gonna bust out the 32 gig cartridges on this one though? Because this one looks like to be like a fairly big game. So I'm curious to how they're gonna play that out though. Most likely, I'll probably get on PS5 though, but I'm gonna look and see how people say how the Switch version comes out though. But it is gonna be coming out this holiday. And did we have like a Batman game or something like that coming out from WB as well this year? Like they're having like 2 back-to-back games close to the holiday seasons. I don't know how the heck they're pulling this mess off though. But it became one of the games where I was like, you know what? I don't know about this to all right, well that might be one of my close holiday games right up there with Pokemon Gen 9. So we'll see how all that basically plays out though. But I think that's gonna basically do it in terms of the gaming news stuff. So we'll go ahead and switch it over to about that show. All right, so picking up on this, you know what? There's been quite a bit of stuff I actually been going through and watching this week, me personally though. But as all good things, I'll start off with my guest, Bronto. What you been watching within these past couple of weeks?
Watching basically nothing, I guess. I'm not really much of a media guy. The only thing the last thing I watched was like the first few episodes of Cuphead, which I thought were pretty nice, but I just never got around to finishing it.
What? Oh, wait, yeah. Shoot, you still haven't watched that. Wait, so diving in a little bit more. What do you think about the first few?
I thought it was pretty fun. It was just like silly adventures that like the two go on. It's like the main conflict is like the devil again, but I don't know how it goes. But it's mostly just them like it's just basically world building of the world of Cuphead. It's nice to see different perspectives other than just fighting the other the other people there.
Also, like they expand upon like the bosses and their characters and stuff like that.
I think so. I don't know if they're main characters, but they do appear in the show. At least a few of them.
Okay. And how many episodes does that series have? Is it close to 12 or is it a little less than that?
I don't remember, but I heard that what's out now isn't the full like set that they already have. So they're just doing it in two parts, which is kind of weird, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 12 episodes.
Okay, 12.
So it's like the first season, and they're gonna do another one, but they already had it done. They're just waiting. I don't know why they're waiting to release
I
it, but
hate it
yeah.
when Netflix does that mess. I remember watching what was it I was watching shoot uh the dude that made Fairy Tale. Shoot, what the heck was it? Dang, it's slipping from my mind right now though. But Even Zero, I remember that one and how they basically like split core that one. Even though I think in Japan when they had that anime airing, they released it week to week and they gave you the full 24. So it's like they gave you 12, they were off for a season, then they gave you another 12. But I was like, I just hate it when Netflix handles anime. Like I really wish they didn't touch it because I also hate the fact that you have to wait for a whole entire series just to finish airing in Japan, and then a little more time after that before they finally drop everything out on Netflix. So I just hate it having to watch anime off of Netflix. This is a bad business model. I just hate it. But yeah, so fairly good stuff. I'll eventually get around to watching Cuphead. Eventually. What about you? What about you, Sanikyu? What you been watching?
He's dead, I think.
Assuming he didn't die. Oh wait, no. Oh wait, shoot. I guess no. I think he ran off to go do something. I think. But all right. Well, I guess have you go, Steven. What you been watching?
Nothing.
Oh, nothing at all.
That's not true. He's been watching JoJo's Adventure.
I haven't watched that in 2 months.
Wait, two
So,
whole months.
The last thing you watched.
Well, no, because technically, he's been in previous episodes. So
I watched the Batman like a couple weeks ago. That's it.
We talked about that one, and so I guess
Yeah.
So you haven't watched any movies, no shows since then.
I cannot think of anything. I've been watching YouTube. Does that count? Does that count for the what you watching?
I guess technically.
I don't know. I've been watching a lot of speedrun videos from this one guy named Small Ant. He's pretty fucking based.
Speedrunning and base do not go in the same sentence.
Yes, they do.
Oh boy. All right. Well, all right. So in terms of what I've been watching, it is the month of March. So I've been watching a bunch of basketball left and right everywhere. And as I said in my previous episode, I said, you know what? If for some reason I came back to this episode and if my hogs were still in it, I would have dedicated a full pop culture segment for that thing. That did not happen. They fell one game short. My Hogs made it all the way to the Elite Eight. For y'all that don't know basketball, in terms of the March Madness bracket stuff, if you want to make it all the way to the championship game, you basically have to win 5 games to get to the championship game. To win the whole thing overall, you basically have to win 6 games. And my Hogs managed to win 3 games and was very close to getting to the final 4 people that would have been remaining out of that big old bracket. And they fell short to Duke. And I was like, golly. I don't know.
So what you're telling me is that you're not getting Kirby.
Yeah, so I did make a bet. If you saw it on my Twitter, my ZardCast Twitter account, I was feeling high on my Hogs after they beat Gonzaga a couple of days ago, and I was like, you know what? If my Hogs can get to the Final Four, I would instantly run to the eShop and I would have bought Kirby right then and there. I would have been like,
Okay,
you know what? I would have just done it.
If you're willing to make a bet like that, then that obviously shows that you want Kirby. So why don't you just get it? It's like
I
really
said I
fun.
will get it. It's just a matter of fact of I'll probably will get it later because I'm still going through triangle strategy. I actually managed to. Well, I did manage to beat the game, but that's only one of the routes, and I'll explain and go a little bit further about it here in just a little bit though. But yeah, in terms of the games I got stacked up right now, it's just like I'm just kind of packed right now. I'm just trying to focus on what I do have. And Kirby, I can just slip in there during like a dull moment. So that's what I've been kind of waiting on. But some other stuff I've been watching. Um, I've been watching The Proud Family. I can't remember if I said that in the previous. No. I did.
Yes, you did.
I did.
Yes, you did.
I remember now. I did. So yeah, I still been watching that. The series been really good, really funny. They hadn't missed a beat on that. I'm trying to think, what's there? Oh, now this is the new thing I've been watching. I've been watching Haiku the 4th season because recently, because I saw like one of the voice actors that was in some of the previous seasons. She was like, "Oh, I'm so glad to be a part of this thing again." I was like, "Wait a minute, what?" And I looked at it. I was like, "Oh shoot!" They went ahead and dubbed finally Haiku season 4, and that I would say that is probably one of the best ever sports anime I've ever watched. Like it's just up there. The way how they handle all of their different characters and stuff and go through their growths and stuff like that. And out of all the sports, I never thought it would be over volleyball, but it just works. So
You
yeah,
said sports and anime in the same sentence, so I don't care.
bruh. Well, you need to care. Well, I can't force.
literally do not give a shit
I
about
can't force you to
sports.
care, but I wish.
I like bowling, if that counts as a fucking
That's not a
sport.
sport.
It's in Wii Sports.
I mean, it technically is. It's
in
like
Nintendo
it's a
Switch
skill
Sports.
sport. It's recognized as like a skill sport, kind
Yeah,
of like
a
archery.
skill. A skill sport, which means it's better.
I'll let you know when I run upon a bowling anime, so then I have you watch it.
There is no bowling anime that will ever fucking exist.
You know what? Hold on.
Probably is.
Hold on. Y'all keep talking. I'm about to Google this mess right now.
I fucking
There's
guarantee.
like anime about everything.
I guarantee that if there's a bowling anime, it's the fucking stupidest and worst thing ever, and no one's ever talked about it for that reason.
That's not what you're just moving. You just said like, oh, it doesn't exist. Now you're saying, oh, if it does exist.
I'm not saying. No, I'm saying that I hope. Yeah, I fucking do not think that something like that exists. But if it does, fucking surprise me.
So there is bowling mangas. I just randomly Googled
mangas. Give me a bowling anime.
Let's see here.
Can you hold your horses?
I want anime now.
Wait, okay, hold on. Bowling King. Let me pull up my anime list. I'm trying to figure out if that's just a manga only or if that's also an anime. I'm trying to figure this one out. Let's see here. Wait, Bronto, have you been watching a lot of anime? I'm just curious.
I don't watch anime. I watched like anime movies sometimes. Those are alright. I think the last one I watched was like a Silent Voice, the movie, and then before that it was The Grave of the Fireflies. That was the only 2 I remember that I watched. I don't think I watched any other movies anime based.
I got you. Dang, I was looking for dang, I think they have one that was basically a manga. Well, no, they got a few different ones that I think are mangas, but I don't know if we officially have anything that's actually an anime. It's kind of weird.
I'm telling you, you're not gonna find it.
Yeah, that's probably it's probably a tough sell. You probably had better. Nah, I was about to say you might have a better shot with archery. I don't know, but yeah, that would be a tough anime to kind of do though. But if I ever see one, I'll come back to you. I'll be like, all right, you got to watch this now. You got to own up to it though. But yeah, I guess that's
Own,
basically.
you
Oh,
can't
what?
own up to it. I didn't make a fucking bet.
You felt like you did. I felt like you challenged me when you said there wasn't no bowling anime. So
Challenged you.
I was like, well, shoot, whatever. But okay, so
It
that's
wasn't a.
gonna.
It wasn't. Okay. Never mind.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's
It wasn't a.
basically gonna.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh, just go.
What? It wasn't. It was, never mind. Just. Shit.
All right. Well, okay. So, all right. So that's gonna be it for that though. So we'll go ahead and jump over to the next segment, being what you've been playing. All right. So, quite a bit of stuff that actually been releasing within the past few weeks, and I got a list of few games I wanted to go through and talk about. Just going through this little thing here because recently we did get the launch of Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, and you know what? I kind of wish I put a little bit more time up into this game just purely due to the fact that there was a lot that dropped out in the month of March. I ain't gonna lie, there was a ton of stuff that dropped. I think this dropped out like in the middle of the month, and it was like it's one of the newer fighters that I recently had gotten because technically I got a new fight stick, and I think I might have mentioned this in the last episode not too long ago. So I've been kind of going through and playing different fighting games like Fighter Z, and then taking some skills I had up in that one, trying to transcribe them over here to this game. I'm trying to get used to it with this one here. But honestly, it's a very fun game. At least with the story part, it's kind of off-putting. It felt a little different from Persona 5 Strikers. I don't know, the way how they showcase off the story in that game and the way how they had you with the gameplay, it kind of went hand in hand. But this one, honestly, I was going through the story mode at times, and I felt like they actually, I felt like I was playing a visual novel at one point. I was like, wait, what happened to the fighting part? I ain't gonna lie, that's what I felt about. But I felt like honestly, if you played through Persona 4 Golden, you probably would pull more from the story though. But since it's not, directly linked with the gameplay, like what you're doing, hand in hand proportionately, at least from what I'm getting, um, I kind of felt a little disconnect there. So this honestly might be the game that I just play purely just to fight. And then if and whenever I actually do manage to get Persona 4 and I go through and play it through it all, then and only then will I probably go back and then see how the story played out though. But I know I got it. I don't think you got it, Steven, but you got it too,
I.
Bronto, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Bronto got it. Sonic got it. Yoshi bought it on Switch just to play with people, and Hax has it.
Yeah, so have you gotten to dabble with it too much, Bronto, or you're almost like me where you kind of dabble with it a little bit, but not too much?
I played a good amount, not too much. I'm still like not that good at fighting games. I still need to get used to like mechanics and like the inputs. I'm not really that good with those.
I gotcha. Yeah, because I was like, I kind of know some knowledge because I mean, a lot of it is kind of thanks to the Dragon Ball Fighter Z because I knew what I kind of wanted to do. I just couldn't fully execute it, but I feel like my fight stick has been kind of helping me out with that a little bit. And I had Sonic kind of teaching me some basics like the hand grips with a fighting with a fighting stick is kind of interesting though. But I kind of mainly got that because I wanted to use it for some fighting games. You have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff coming up, so it kind of gives you that old classic arcade feeling stuff. So I just went ahead and invested on that though. But yeah, so it seems like to be a very fun game. I still got to play against you, Bronto, at some point. And then I got to play against Sonic. I played a little bit with Hax, but his connection was kind of whack. So I got to see.
So,
I got to see how it plays with you, Bronto. I didn't mean to rhyme on my boy over there. But yeah, so I think
You're making.
but I guess that's going to basically do it for the Persona 4 Arena Ultimax thing, though. And unfortunately, it's only
well,
digital only. But luckily, it's only $30 if you wanted to get it. But what were you saying, Steven?
I was just gonna say Sonic played with hacks and it ran perfectly fine, so it might just be you.
No, I played with tags and that thing was laggy as hell.
Oh, I don't know. Sonic said he played with them perfectly fine.
I have no idea. His Wi-Fi must have been running off of some voodoo juice or something. I don't know. But
Yeah, some Kool-Aid.
no, not cool. No. Now I feel offended. You can't just say that. No.
It's not. I was saying Kool-Aid offensive. It's not your drink.
It kind of is, but whatever. So that's gonna basically do it for Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, and then we'll go ahead and jump over to this other game that released earlier this month. But I'm just finally being able to actually sit down and talk about it. That being Triangle Strategy. Now I'm gonna keep it real with every single one of y'all boys that are watching this, boys and girls that's watching this either on YouTube. Keep watching this mess on either Google, Spotify, Apple, or even Amazon Music. This might be the sleeper hit of this year in terms of games. I never thought that this game would be that deep in terms of it being a strategy RPG. I love my Fire Emblem stuff, but the stuff that they were able to execute in this game alone, I was like, what the actual heck? Now I'm about to go into like my little mini review, I guess if you want to call it like that, because you start off playing through the game. Serenoa is your main protagonist. That's basically the person you're controlling for the majority of this game. You got three other people that kind of assist you quite extensively throughout the game. You have Roland, who's technically a prince to a king. You have Frederica, who's basically, this is like in the olden times where it's kind of like you have arranged marriages or whatever. So she was arranged to marry you, the main protagonist. And then you have Benedict over here, who's basically like a not necessarily a servant, but kind of like the right hand man to like your father for the main, like, because you're basically U.S. Serenoa, you're like a lord, and you're kind of governing this little area of land that's all underneath the kingdom. So you had the kingdom, you had Esfrost, and then you had Hyzentia. You had like three different continents, and the whole Salt Iron War. It's kind of a dumb name to call
Oh
a
my
war,
god.
but the more you played this game, the more and more the whole Salt Iron War had more it established more of like you understood the history, and that Salt Iron War just had a lot more weight on it the more you went and the more stuff that you saw about the story as you progressed through the game though. But this game is deep. Like, for example, when you're going through and you're fighting on the terrain, like there's height elevation, so having attacking from the high ground would do slightly a little bit more damage than attacking from the low ground. You can go behind an enemy unit, attack them from the back, and you do a bit more increased damage like that. You can affect terrain and stuff. Like, you can summon a rainstorm down, make puddles on the ground, use somebody that can cast a lightning spell, and that lightning will spread and hit multiple enemies or slash your allies, depending on where they're standing at on the ground. You can literally freeze the terrain, so it makes it harder for enemies, both you and allies, to be able to cut across. You can burn the ground. That way, when they're cutting through the fire and stuff, that does increase them. There's a lot, and that's just only like the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of different ways how you can control the battlefield, and I felt like this was even more of a tactical game than even Fire Emblem felt like, at least for me, for a good chunks of this game. And I think in terms of the way how they're handling the strategy RPG, the modern strategy RPG move from this point forward, we've been seeing a lot of it with Fire Emblem, how normally you make choices on the battlefield all the time in terms of how you're going to route your enemy, how you got to defend like your king piece. If, like, for example, one of your units happens to die or fall in battle or whatever, though, they've been, you always made decisions on the battlefield though, and they've been slowly kind of transcribing that to the choices you make in terms of the story elements. Like with Fire Emblem Three Houses, there's like you can choose between three different houses, and then even if you happen to choose what Edelgard's route, there's like a critical moment where you can either side with her or decide to go with the church. I mean, they've been kind of expanding upon choices even within the main story itself. But with what they do with triangle strategy, that's on a whole nother layer, because like there's constantly events in the story where you get to talk to people and they kind of test your principles of, and this is the whole while the triangle thing comes up to play, sense of morality, and two other things. I can't even think of the technical terms on it though, but it's like, are you headstrong, Are you loyal, or you kind of compassionate? It's kind of like basically those three things though. But choosing those options throughout the game kind of leads you down the road of whether you're going to get one of four different endings for the game though. But you're always presented with different decisions where you have to go to the scales of conviction, and you have to make a critical decision that will affect where you go. Because at one point, I'm trying to pull an example of this where it's not too deep in the story. Like eventually, there's one part where the capital gets overtaken by Frost, and then it's like Prince Roland has to make his way out or whatever. Though and they're all
Okay,
after him.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I will say, don't spoil too much, because like I don't really care about triangle strategy, but it is a game that I honestly might pick up.
Yeah, no,
But
no,
yeah, like,
I wasn't gonna go into too deep, but this is fairly early on. Like you could see it coming down, and I wasn't gonna say anything beyond this point. This is still within
just
like
say
the
anything
first
that's in
few
the
hours.
demos.
Yeah, I think it might have been the chapter after the demo, but it was still kind of very early on. But anyway, you can literally either choose to you can either like all things when you're harboring somebody that someone's gunning hole and say, hey, give us that person or else. You can literally choose to either defend them, or you can actually give them away. Critical decisions like that will actually affect different things throughout the story. Because I think there's like 4 or 5 different times where you have to put up to a vote of where you're gonna do, and it actually increases the replayability in this game.
Yeah,
And
choose
when you
to
get to the
eject them.
very end, I think there's 3 different endings. And there's technically a true ending or like a golden ending. So there's technically 4 different endings though. And I won't actually describe which ones it is. But the ending I got was Frederica's ending. So if you had played the game or you looked into it, you know the ending I saw and witnessed though. Gosh, by golly, that was rough. But if you want to, so let's say you get to the very ending of the game, there is a new game plus, since there's replayability with it. And here's the thing, here's the kicker. This is what makes things a little different, especially from Fire Emblem. When you do New Game Plus, you can carry over all your units that you've been playing through, the series so far. And guess what? The enemies level scale with you. So like you might have ended the game on level 35, and you know how at the very beginning of the game you might run into level 1, level 2, level 3 enemies. No, now those enemies could be like level 30. So the game gets progressively harder, and I think the level cap is at level 50. So they get progressively harder every time you restart your New Game Plus. So they knew
Wait, have
people
you
were going to be.
beaten the game?
Yeah, I beaten the game. I got one of
Oh,
the endings. So I'm
wait,
thinking
wait. If there's
about going
okay,
for the
well,
golden ending, maybe.
I was gonna say, if there's multiple endings, then yeah, it's only fair to have a new game plus. Be kind of.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, one thing that Fire Emblem did that I really don't like is that, like this one path splits into 2 separate paths, and then you just like, if you don't save before that choice, you just gotta play through the entire beginning of Black Eagles again, doing the same shit.
yeah. Which I do like this, Steven, because there is going to be one part of the game where you probably are going to make some decisions that will kind of throw you out of the loop of getting the golden ending. You have to do, I think,
I
4 or
want the
5
genocide ending.
yeah, you have to
I
do like
want the.
four. You have to do 4 or 5 things right leading up to the golden endings. I don't think you're going to naturally get it the first time through, and it's tough
Does the
even if you do
game does
get
the
it.
game hint it, or is it just
No,
literally
it
like, oh,
does
I
not
gotta look
hint
for the
it.
guide?
You literally have to
So
just
then,
happen to choose 4 or 5 different decisions just right, and it's not even
and
just
that's like
choosing
the
them
true
right.
ending.
Yeah, it's not even just
That kind of sucks that the true ending isn't hinted in the slightest.
it's not hinted because you have to do certain scenarios where, and I don't want to actually tell what those scenarios are, but it's certain things in the game. You have to meet certain people and you have to not do certain things that allows you to do them later on. So if you happen to know about the golden ending, you kind of understood that reference of what I just said though. And it's because of that, that's why you will never get in the golden ending unless you kind of look on it or you just happen to luck out with your decisions, because there are some like morally tough decisions they make. There was some moments I was sitting through and playing the game, and I was kind of scratching my head. I was like, or I was just had my hands in my face. I was like, I just honestly don't know which one I'm going to choose. I just have to choose something. This game will get you to actually think and actually get you to feel though too. So I tip my hat
This
off
game will not
into
get me to
that in
feel.
terms of
The
that.
game,
You
fucking
say that.
guarantee the
You
game will
say
not
that.
get me to feel.
No, it's gonna get you to feel. It's gonna get you to feel. And if you're not, you don't have
I
a
don't,
soul.
I don't,
Even if Bronto
I
were to
don't have
play
a
this game,
soul.
he will feel
I don't
because he got a
listen.
soul. I don't know about you.
No, I do not. I do not think this
Have
game.
a
I feel
soul.
like I don't know. I feel like you just like a game. You just like really like when a game has a story, and I'm like, okay, I like a good story too. But like a game rarely gets me to feel. I guess is the way to put it.
No, no. Eventually,
As
you'll get there,
Squidward would
Steven.
say, I have no soul.
I don't know. You'll get there, Steven. Eventually, though. But yeah,
No,
so that's
okay, what
that's
happens if
basically
I
where
beat
I'm
the
at.
game? What happens if I beat the game and I don't feel? Because it's just a fucking 8-bit sprites. I don't know, at least for me, I can't really care about like a fucking serious story told with 8-bit sprites.
Well, no,
It
it's
just
not
looks
even
fucking
just now. You did kind of mention a good thing. You mentioned 8-bit sprites. It's technically 16-bit,
six or whatever. Okay,
but
fine.
even on top of that, it's the voice acting that sells it. If it was just text on the screen, I can understand why you were saying that though. But it's when you
I
hit
don't
that voice acting and some of these OSTs up in there. There's two of them I'm thinking of right off the top of my head. For y'all that might have played it, well, I guess no, there's no easy way of describing it though, but there's two OSTs up in there where I was like, you know what, it was really good though. But story point aside, the story is really good, but the gameplay is very rich, and it will cause you, like for example, like how I was talking about
rich.
all the different things that I like, how you can do with status of elements and stuff in the game and stuff like that. The whole attacking from behind, the whole elevation thing. You can burn the field, freeze the field, electrify, and stuff like that. It will get you to think, especially if you're playing on harder difficulties. These dudes will punish you like they ain't no tomorrow. I went through and played through the game on normal, and even then, there were some matches where I was like, oh gosh, I had to restart it. Thankfully, they allow you to carry your experience over. So if you lose a battle, you can carry that experience over into your next battle or whatever. Though if you restart it, however, in Fire Emblem, remember you lose the battle, that's it. You don't walk away with anything. So yeah, so some honestly some really good stuff from this game. And I have a feeling I might go through and try to replay through the game, New Game Plus, and try to
Alright.
get the golden ending though. But I guess
Alright,
that's
well
my
now
big long review of triangle
yeah, and now
strategy.
hey, it's fair, Zard, because now we're gonna have a big long review of a game that you should have played already. Alright?
And that
Kirby
is
and the
none
Forgotten
other.
Land.
Well, I guess you took it from me, but all
Well,
righty.
yeah, because you haven't
Well,
played it, you don't deserve it.
so the
See?
only thing I had played is the demo because I knew
Okay,
at
yeah.
least I was gonna go through and play the demo just to kind of get a feel of what this game is. And from everything I played, it's really nice. The presentation was good. The cutscenes though, just the one that they showed at the very beginning, I was like, oh my gosh! Like it was kind of up there with I would say what was it? So
Well,
it's
every
kind of up there
Kirby game does that.
with Doctor. I'm not. Why was I about to say Doctor? With Luigi's Mansion 3, I was kind of getting some good vibes from it, and I was like, okay, you know what? I was like, this game might be 30 frames per second though, but I showed didn't it didn't feel like it, at least when I was going through and playing through
It
it
is.
though. But I guess that's all my thoughts. Basically, I just thought it was a nice experience. I'll get this game some point, most likely in May when nothing's supposed to come out. I gotta space my games out where I can though. But Bronto, I brought you purely onto the show just for this one special moment. So go ahead and
Damn.
take it away, boy.
I love the game. That's it. Ugh, I'm just kidding. Um, yeah. So I wasn't too excited when the game like was shown off. I was like, oh, like it's another adventure. It's like, cause well, I've been with the series for almost over 10 years now, and the peak for me was the last 3DS game, which was Robobot. And after playing through
Oh no.
this new one, it's tied to be my favorite with along with Robobot. Those two now are my favorite Kirby games in the series so far. I just knowing that there could be something to tie like a game that I love so much and it's older and something new that can be just as high to that degree, it keeps me. It, I don't know. It just makes me feel happy that like the series still has a lot of ideas, and it's not. I don't think it's ever gonna go stale. And then like even if we have like years of breaks between the games, it's worth it each time because of the experiences they give you, and it's just a really charming game too. That's why I love the series. It's so charming. It's like
Okay.
it doesn't need to be serious. It doesn't need to be like so hard. It doesn't need to be anything like that. It's just fun. It just needs to be fun. That's it.
Okay. Pun entirely intended. Kirby fans are eating good. Okay? Kirby fans always eat good. There's so many fucking games. Like, even if you're, like, every single Kirby game, even if it's not a main game, has, like, the same level of charm and fan service. And, like, even if they're not always great, some of those spin off games are still really charming and convey, like, this is a Kirby game, you know? So like even
What?
even on those gaps between releases, Kirby fans have something to look forwards to.
Yeah,
So
and
like,
like I like the side games because they like let the team explore some new ideas, and then they also like use those as fuel for the future titles, like with Kirby 3D Rumble and Planet Robobot. So yeah, maybe that was a sign. Maybe that was a sign that like it was
well,
gonna be as equal to me and my because that's where the basically the prototype of this game came from.
well,
Was from
also
Planet Robobot's side game, and then they even made another one like expanding it, showing that they're like getting more comfortable with it and getting like the right idea
what
towards it. And then how long has it been? 4, 5, 6 years later.
I
Now they
was
finally release it.
well I was gonna say Kirby Battle Royale also existed, which
That
gave
was
some of those.
after Robobot, yes.
Yeah,
And
I'm
that's
just
not the
saying.
same. That's not how the same as
Well, I'm not saying that.
Forgotten Land.
What I'm saying is that they gave some of the abilities 3D move sets in preparation. Probably they even gave Sleep a move set, which it didn't have a move set in Forgotten Land, but Sleep did get some attention in that game. So it's close enough.
Now,
Battle Royale was cool. Battle Royale had some 3D. It was of a 3D spin-off Kirby game. I don't really remember anyone really liking it per se. I didn't. It should have had online. It should have had a Switch
It
port as
does have
well.
online.
Wait, it does?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Oh, okay. I always heard it
On
didn't
the
have it.
box, it literally says online or local play.
Ah, okay. Well, guess what? Battle Royale was cool and all, but
Well,
it
guess
released
what?
after the
Reading's
Switch
hard.
came out. Yeah, it released after the Switch came out, so it was like, okay then. Like, I don't
now,
know. That
now we'll
that
So
say
that
game.
doesn't really
this.
matter. There's still 3DS games that are amazing that came out afterward.
Oh yeah, like wait, what did Team Kirby Clash Deluxe come out after?
No, that came out like a half a year after Robobot, so like 2017.
Well, yeah, did that come out before or after the Switch? Is what I'm saying. That's what I
I
meant.
think before the Switch.
Okay. What was was the Star Allies the first Kirby game on Switch? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
What am I fucking
Yeah,
saying?
it was. Now, I will say
And
this, Bronto, because I think I actually heard from some of the people. I think some of the people at HAL, the people that always make these Kirby games, they got interviewed or whatever, though. And I actually heard from one of them. I was like, wait, what the? Is this true? The fact that they've been working hard on trying to find a way how to implement Kirby into 3D to the scope and scale of Forgotten Land. And for the longest time, they always ran into some kind of issue. And there was even some people in their little group where they were like, you know what? Kirby 2D line ones are the only serious ones, or the fact that there was even some people in there that honestly thought that Kirby could never make the jump to 3D, or they never they thought that Kirby would only be a 2D series. Like they just wouldn't believe in ever having a 3D one. So some of them were kind of split on that. But I was like, really? I was like,
Well, yeah, it's because I think it was more what the challenge that they faced was like, well, because of the copy abilities, you need to work that in the 3D environment, and also the enemies, like all that stuff, like take Mario enemies for example, like most of them are very simple. Like the ones in Kirby, they're simple as well, but they also like have tracking. They actually like move towards you like more, and then their attacks are spread out. to like try to hit you more. And even like the bosses in the game, they have unique attacks that take advantage of the space and are like big enough to actually pose a threat to you. Like
Yeah. I was gonna say, specifically in those HAL interviews, another thing they mentioned was like I feel like this right here is the main reason that Kirby was finally able to make the jump. They've put in like hitbox, like because here's Kirby is
yeah, they
all
made like a
about
whole they
simplicity.
made a specific
Yeah.
engine for the series.
Like here's the thing, I guess the whole thing they didn't want to bring Kirby to 3D because they didn't want to like do it. I guess on GameCube they didn't want to do it too soon, or they just felt
No,
like
they were also I'm pretty sure they were also pressured with Kirby 64 because that was on a 3D console. And even
because
then
well, I
they
was
didn't
gonna say
budge.
I guess something good. I was gonna say maybe Kirby 64 just got them comfortable in doing 2.5D, but I was gonna say that like in my head, the main reason is always just because they found a formula that everyone liked. There was no flaws with 2D Kirby, you know. Maybe I'm
Mhm.
wrong about that, but there was really no gaping flaws in the way 2D Kirby worked. You know what I mean? It's not like every single game they fixed a new flaw. You get what I'm saying, Bronto? It's from
Yeah.
Super,
The only ones that they fixed
literally
were like the last time they had to fix something was like
Squeak
I guess
Squad, right?
Well, yeah,
Super.
Superstar Ultra, and then to Squeak Squad because after Superstar Ultra, most of them regressed back first. Like I don't know why, but they regressed back to the old games. But after Squeak Squad, then it's just been like
I
good.
guess the whole thing, it's gonna sound super weird. Kirby fans have a high standard of quality because these games always exude quality more than anything.
Hmm. They're always polished.
Yeah, I literally have only found a single visual glitch in fucking Forgotten Land in my entire playthrough. I have
The
not.
only
Now,
thing that I found was funny was like a little enemy, like he was like chasing me, but there was a gate in front of him, and his head like popped into the gate. But it just looked funny more than anything.
Nice.
and I think I heard from some people, or slash from stuff I've been seeing, is I guess everything in front of you is fine, but if you start looking in the distance, then you see like half animations or something like that, or you see
Not even
some
a
little things
problem.
distortion. That's the only
Yeah,
little
it's
nitpick.
like they
The only
they
negative
lower
thing
the
I
frame
heard.
rate just to keep it consistent. Like
Yeah, but the difference between Kirby and Legends Arceus is that this game has stuff going on in every single part of the screen.
yeah, you could see mm, the enemies moving around like so far away. Like you could just like like I'm gonna come up on these people.
So
Yeah.
much detail in every single fucking part of this game.
The
That's the
environments in this game
difference.
look so gorgeous. I love it. Just
Like
Now,
this
looking at the
Kirby
stages is
game,
so good.
I think the thing that they wanted to figure out, because in my head I was saying this and then I forgot what it was. 3D Kirby was never technically held back. Like the technical side of things was never the issue. Because like
Yeah, they were
look at
always late, like
like
on releasing things. Like
yeah, like I was gonna
oh,
say, like look at Return the Dream. Look at literally every single game from Return the Dreamland. The environments in that game never were like that game. Those games look great. 3D World,
yeah,
Return
the
to
3D World
Dreamland,
got it.
Triple Deluxe, and Planet Robobot never had any problems like visually or like frame rate drops or anything. Star Allies is such a beautiful game and it does run at 30 FPS, but it shows that they didn't have a problem making visually nice, like visually standing out games. You literally could just take some of those environments they made for the background and add grass to them and boom, 3D environment, but they didn't do it because Kirby is about simplicity. You stray too far from what makes Kirby good or simple, you're gonna lose a lot of people.
Now, I do want to
That's
say
why
this for
Forgotten Land. That's why Forgotten. I was just gonna say Forgotten Land, in my opinion, is the perfect evolution of Kirby. Literally everything that was good about 2D Kirby is kept, and
now.
everything that 2D held back is improved.
Now, one thing I did want to say to Bronto is I know they actually, for the first time, unless they did this weirdly in some other Kirby game, they actually added difficulty modes. I think it was like, what is there, like a super easy, a standard mode? It might just call standard easy or whatever, or the wild mode. And I was like, well, shoot, for me being a Kirby game, even when I did the demo, I was like, okay, I'm choosing the wild mode because none of these Kirby games are like incredibly difficult or whatever, though. So is that the way how you played it? And if so, did you ever die or not yet?
I didn't. He muted. So just while he's muted, I'm just gonna say that I only died. I got close, very extremely close to dying on the final boss, and I died a good amount in the boss rushes that are in every single Kirby game. That's not even a spoiler. Every single Kirby game has an arena thing. So yeah, and they showed it in
Okay.
the trailers.
Yeah, because I
So
know they had I knew they had like certain side stuff because I guess the main story is about. Did it take you 8 to 10 hours?
it took Sonic 20 hours to 100%.
Oh,
Took me about
100%.
50.
Okay.
Took me about 12 because I missed some things in levels, but same or similar. There's tons of secrets to find, Zard. That's the whole thing. There's so
Okay.
much shit. There's so much shit. Every single level has like 11, 10 or 11 collectibles that all have unique parameters to get, but none of them are. That's the thing. None of them are like difficult. Like it's simple stuff, but like it makes you feel like you're doing a lot in each level. It's like little achievements per se. This game, like some stuff is so fucking simple that I don't get how they didn't think of it when they were originally designing 3D Kirby on GameCube.
No,
Like
that's
even
no, you can't be saying that stuff because like the only reason it looks simple is because of like so many like so much time polishing it. That's why like when you see something polished so much, you're like, oh, this looks so simple. But like actually making that happen or
I
like
know.
actually doing that, it takes so long and it's not simple.
I meant on the surface it's simple, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. That's what I
To
meant
make it
is
to make it to the point of like it just you're looking at it, it's like, oh, it's simple, and you like kind of like overlook it. That takes so much time.
but you know what I mean. It takes a lot of work to make something genuinely look simple most of the
Yes, but
time.
you weren't even saying that.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like it doesn't like I guess the whole thing is that it looks simple, but it doesn't look low effort. It looks yeah, it just I guess that's just the polished.
Yes.
Hey Bronto, I know this is random. Was that one tornado mini boss in Return to Dreamland? The bird,
Which one?
Florina, or is she a new one? Is she a new mini
You talking about
boss?
the tornado one?
Yes, that's I just said the
That
tornado
one's
one.
new.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
Oh, now, Bronson, I think you stepped away for a brief second though, but I don't know if you actually heard what I said though. But I was saying, and I know Steven already gave his response to this though. But I know there's like a super easy mode, an easy mode, and technically what's considered a hard mode, but it doesn't really kind of felt like, at least from what I played in the demo mode. But I knew I was gonna pick it anyway because Kirby games aren't incredibly difficult or anything like that. So I'd say, which mode did you play in, and if you played in the wild mode, did you ever die?
I played the whole game through wild mode and I didn't die. I don't think a single time. I was close to dying like a couple times, but it's just not that difficult.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
pretty
But
sure
that didn't
enemies
really
do
like
less.
hinder anything.
I'm 90% sure enemies do less damage when you're close to death.
Well,
Or
not
maybe that's just
bosses.
me imagining things.
I got
I
you.
don't know. But yeah, it was like it's nice to see that there's like actually options. Like if you have like a super young child that wants to play the series, like you have like another safety net if they want, or if you could just.
Well, I
And
guess
even then,
that's
even if you don't do that, like you could just like, oh look, it's a wild mode. Like you could just like build their confidence, like, oh, see, it's a difficult game, and then like it's just anything. It's positive in either way. It's like
yeah,
even
it's a
if it's
good
like
thing.
maybe it is not difficult for people that have played games for years as us.
Also, accessibility is always a good thing. Like you know, games that are hard are fun and all, but Kirby doesn't need to be hard, except for the arena. The arena is always hard, and that's what's fun about it.
Hmm. Yeah, so I guess at least whenever I do get my hands on the game, I'll probably actually go through and I'll play through the main story mode, but I'll probably be doing some stuff on the side along the way to kind of extend out the I guess my playtime with it. Honestly, well, I say that I'll do stuff on the side to extend out my playtime if I was playing by myself, but this very well could be a streamable game series I might do
Yeah, it
if
is. I would say.
if and whenever, since it only takes about 8 to 10 hours for the story mode, it very well could be. I don't know. I have to wait and see. Whenever I do get my hands on it, depends on what else I'm playing at the time, but it very well could be. We'll have to wait and see though. But
I like how this whole time we've just been talking about the idea of a 3D Kirby. I was gonna bring up the like the ideas that this game brings are so fucking fun. Mouthful mode was used a lot better than I expected it to be used.
Yeah, like, well, that's the thing. Like, they always bring like, yeah, they could see as like one-off gimmicks, is like, but they use them to the fullest extent that that idea can be, and even if they don't, like, who's stopping them to like make it return? Like, it's just they can make it work. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But I don't think they ever will do that. I don't think they'll ever bring back like those like mechanics or game mechanics, just because like, well, that's what identifies like that game. It's like, oh, this is like what's unique to this game. Like, so if you want to experience that, just go play that game. And then, like,
Every
even with
Kirby
that,
game.
you experience a new like
Yeah.
appreciation to the what they put there.
That's what I like about the 3DS. That's what I like about the modern like trio of games. Is Return to
It's like
Dreamland, Triple Deluxe, and Planet
Quintilogy.
Robobot.
There's 5 games
Yeah.
now.
Okay. Whatever. But like, okay. Here's the great thing about this game. Like, it's 3D, but like I would literally still consider it like part of that. Like, it has the exact same structure as Planet Robobot and all those games. Literally, like 6 or so worlds, 7th world, final boss, 5 or 6 levels per world. Like, it's Kirby is formulaic in all the right ways. Like, don't fix what's not broken. Star
Yeah,
Allies
and
fucking
that's good too, because with the formulaic stuff, because in the previous titles, like the starting from Dreamland, Return to Dreamland, there was like a pattern of them like remixing their music and putting that in the official soundtrack, like of the older games as like references. And then
well, some of it's really cool. Like, if it's
no, I
thematically
know, but I'm
fitting.
saying like that pattern, if you like playing through those games, where it's like it's cool too, and then it was such a diversion for this new game where the entire soundtrack was completely original, just from a side of sparingly used remixes that add more to them, because there's barely any in the game.
Okay.
And it doesn't subtract from the previous like soundtracks either, because like, oh, like, well, those remixes were good, and they brought something new and expressed some new ideas with those songs and compositions.
Yeah.
But with this new ones, like, they can show, like, they're showing that, like, well, we don't always need to rely on like the old songs. We can still make new songs. Like, we know what to do. Like, the music's just too good.
I know this is gonna sound like just something a fan is saying. When Kirby does fan service, it doesn't feel like nostalgic pandering. It feels like what it should, a callback. You know? Because I guess the whole thing, Kirby doesn't need to rely on fan service. Kirby isn't only good because of its fan service. Kirby, even in every
Yeah, that's what I
single
was saying.
game,
This
they
game
bring
shows
unique
that.
ideas. Like, even shit like DDD being possessed every time I like, because they bring something cool out of it. Fucking swole DDD, DDD with a fucking axe, beast mode DDD, which I can talk about DDD because he's in the trailer. Like, you were talking about the remix thing, Bronto.
Mhm.
Even remixes that they've done so many times now, they make amazing. Like the DDD fight theme in this game. Not It's not just a DDD remix. It's the Star Allies DDD remix, because Star Allies had like a new theme for DDD. So they brought that theme in, but they also made it like more dramatic and build up they made that theme more dramatic, while the Star Allies version still has its own flair because that one was more fast paced.
Yeah. So I
It sounds
guess
weird. if you can go back and listen to Star Allies DDD theme, it almost sounds like a fucking training montage type of like it sounds like music that would play during a fucking training montage. It's like really, really goofy because that fucking battle was like it's full DDD. I can't take it seriously. While in this game they give him like this really dramatic shit and it works.
Oh, bruh. Well,
That's
I
the whole
guess
point
it's
of that was the whole point of like Masked DDD was taking his theme and putting a fresh new take on it back in Superstar Ultra.
yeah.
This game takes everything that works. I cannot think of a single thing in this game that doesn't work, Bronto. What about you? A single fucking thing in
No.
this game that doesn't work. I dare you.
No, I don't think so.
No. Well,
Like
shit. I guess that's basically gonna do it in terms
what?
of the
Like
Kirby little stuff
like
wrap up,
I was gonna
though.
say Zard. Why do you think this game got so high of reviews? The game literally only didn't get 10 out of 10s because
Maybe it's like
it's
people
a
don't like
fucking
the
Switch game, which means like it's just difficulty, and I guess we expect more from a $60 game, even though this
performance.
game isn't padded. Oh yeah, that too. Like this game it's not padded in any way either. That's another thing. But yeah,
Yeah, because I think on
whatever.
Metacritic, I think it's like in the low 80s or something like that, though. But
Deserves
it's just a
deserves
solid
higher.
game. Yeah.
Well, either way, it's still almost like Kirby. As long as Kirby stays how it is, it's good. It doesn't need to be this game that's super overrated or like super high reviews. It is perfectly fine where it is.
And on
I
that
hope
note,
they make I hope they make 3D games just like this. Again, add a new gimmick, make quality level designs. Just keep doing this. Kirby is in its perfect form. I love this. This is my favorite game of the year so far. I don't give a shit. Elden Ring killer.
all right. And I guess on that note, that's basically gonna do it in terms of my podcast for tonight, though. So we went through quite a through bit of topics and stuff
Wait,
like that, and went through quite a bit of games, though. Although I do want to mention one last thing, because this is broke out on Twitter just out of nowhere, and I wish,
what
man,
now?
if the timing of this would have happened in the pop culture segment, so help me. So apparently the Oscars is happening like right now tonight. And I was like, one of my friends started buzzing my phone out of nowhere, and I was like, wait, what the heck's going on, man? I was like, let
Didn't
me check my
Sonic
text.
2?
No,
Didn't
no, no,
Sonic 2 win one?
no, it's not even that. It's not even that. Apparently, so Will Smith walked up on stage and slapped the taste out of Chris Rock's mouth on stage. I was like, wait, what? And I went over here and
Did the
played the
what?
live thing. Will Smith came up on stage. Chris Rock was saying something. I hadn't seen the full context of it though, but it seemed like he was talking about the dude's wife. He came up on the stage and literally slapped him across the face. I was like, wait, what the heck?
Oh my god.
I was like, bruh, this dude got
He's
assaulted on the Oscars. I was like, bruh, I kind of want to hurry up and end this thing so I can actually see what they actually said. I just saw the motion of it. I was like, holy shoot. And people are going to start making memes and stuff of this on Twitter. I was like, bruh. Like, I saw one from EE, who's like a commentator for like Smash Brothers Ultimate and stuff like that. And literally, like, one of his tweets said, Bad Boys 4 looking like
okay.
a hit.
Okay, Will Smith just tweeted a whelp.
Wait, he just tweeted Welp? Was that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Bro.
But okay, I will say, why does Will Smith have an NFT picture, but like literally fucking every celebrity has an NFT picture?
They got the money for it, I guess.
Like,
Whatever.
I feel like the sad. I don't know. I know this. We're not gonna have an NFT discussion. I'm just gonna say that it is kind of sad that a lot of celebrities that I do like do this NFT shit
Yeah.
because they're trying to normalize it. Oh, if this guy I like does it, then I should like it too. Shit like that. It's awful.
Think for yourselves always. The most
Yeah, they don't.
important thing, everything.
But also Will Smith, I don't know. He's cool and all. He said that thing about rewind time. Remember that?
No.
Bruh.
He did say that.
Rewind time. Well, I guess it's time
Yeah.
to. I guess it's time to wind this one down. But you know what? Special thanks once again for Bronto being my first special guest here on the show. So thank you for
Woohoo.
sharing your Kirby wisdom with me. We didn't talk about the Kirby lore. That'll be a whole nother like an hour or two. So
We don't need a. Yeah, we don't need to fucking spend 15 minutes doing, 15 hours doing that.
yeah. So Bronto, tell the fine folks where can they find you at?
I guess Twitter, but I don't do anything there.
You do some stuff there. At least you comment on people's stuff.
Yeah, like that one image
Sometimes.
Hacks posted about him throwing you.
Yeah,
Bruh.
he threw me for no reason.
He
All
threw it.
right.
No,
Do
no, he
nothing.
did that. He made that image just to prove a point to me, and then I told him to post it online.
Alrighty.
What are you
And then
saying? Oh, you can't do anything, Hacks?
Yeah, I told him that if he posted it, he'd get Twitter clout. He didn't.
bruh. And then Steven, tell the fine folks where they can find you at.
Maybe eventually on Twitch one day when I stream my world record speedrun of Kirby in the Forgotten Land.
Alrighty. And I guess that's basically gonna do it for this one episode of ZardCast episode 29. Hard to think. I guess in a couple weeks from now I'll have my 30th episode. Gosh, I didn't think I'd be doing this thing this long though. But having fun with the boys over here though. But that's basically gonna do it for this episode though. So you really like this, make sure to go ahead and hit that like button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, that bell, stay up to date on anything video game related I feel like talking about and discussing for the foreseeable future. If you happen to be one of those people that be watching this via Google Podcasts, Apple, Spotify, or even Amazon Music, make sure just go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and share my podcast out. Just let them know that we're just a few guys over here just talking gaming stuff, pop culture stuff, and I guess some
I love
Kirby stuff
gaming.
here every now and then though. But that's basically gonna do it for this video though. So remember y'all, until whatever episode I make next, see y'all.